A while back, an advisor called me and he was really upset because he had a horrible attendance at his live event. And he said, I've tried live events, I've been on the radio, that doesn't work anymore. My online leads won't call me back, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And so I immediately thought, well, let's Google your name and see what's coming up on your Google name. So we did. We Googled his name. And recently in the news, someone with this advisor's exact same name that lived in the exact same area dominated the first page of those search results. So this advisor wasn't even showing up when you typed in his name. This other person that had this advisor's exact first and last name was showing up, and it wasn't good. He had actually been busted out from being a rapist at a hospital. And so that was what was showing up on the first page of those search results. And this guy was awaiting for trial, and it was not a good situation at all. Probably a good reason why nobody was coming to his events and nobody was giving him a call back, and people that were searching online for a good, reputable financial advisor weren't returning his phone calls. And that's because of this. And Google put out this study. It's called the Zero Moment of Truth. And Google put this out back in 2011. Let me just explain what that zero moment of truth is. Procter & Gamble put this model, this selling model together back in the 1980s. And it just simply says this: in order to get somebody to buy, there first has to be a stimulus, first moment of truth, and then a second moment of truth. And the best way I can explain that is by explaining a commercial from the 80s and 90s, the Mr. Whipple commercials. I don't know if you remember that, but you probably might remember when Mr. Whipple squeezes the Charmin or says, don't squeeze the Charmin or whatever. So that is the example that I'm going to use. So let's suppose there was a housewife that was watching that commercial on TV, and she sees Mr. Whipple squeeze that Charmin, and she wonders, is it possible for toilet paper to be that soft? So that's the stimulus there. And then she goes to the store and she's shopping and she sees that tower of toilet paper and she takes it down and she squeezes that Charmin, and that's her first moment of truth. But she doesn't get to have her second moment of truth until she buys the toilet paper, takes it home, and then experiences it, and that's the second moment of truth. The zero moment of truth, and what Google is saying, is that nowadays you can be sitting back watching TV on a Sunday afternoon, watching the football game or whatever, and you can see a commercial for, let's say, the new Ford F-150. You can now, you don't even have to get up from your couch now. You can get your smartphone out and you can go and you can type in F-150 reviews, and you can read page after page after page of somebody else's second moment of truth, somebody else's experience, which then becomes your zero moment of truth. And that right there, the zero moment of truth, has kind of turned upside down the way that we market. Now, a lot of advisors tell me that doesn't apply to us. Well, Google says that 89% of people looking for investments and 94% of people looking for insurance are influenced by that zero moment of truth. So if you're not controlling your prospect's zero moment of truth, if the first page of Google search results isn't all about you and your business, you could be losing out on business, just like my advisor friend. People were going to the internet when they got an invitation from him in the mail, when they heard him on the radio, when they found out about him through an online lead program or whatever. They were going and they were typing in his name, and they didn't like what they were seeing, and they weren't doing business with him. There's a study that recently said over 80% of consumers will say that if they see missing or non-relevant information on a business, they immediately begin losing confidence and trust in that business. And in the financial world, it's all about trust, right? It's all about trust and confidence. And so you want to make sure that when somebody Googles your name, you're dominating those Google search results. Now, this is just a part one in a several part series that I'm going to be talking about. So in the next episode, I'm going to talk about 3 possible search results when someone Googles your name. There's a good, there's a bad, and there's an ugly possible when it comes to the search results. Now, if you Googled your name while watching this video, and I encourage you to do that, but if you Googled your name while you're watching it and you're concerned about your search results, and by the way, let me just give you a tip. Not good, but not bad isn't good either. What I mean by that, if you Googled your name and there's nothing bad that showed up, but it was nothing relevant to your business either, that's not good. And I'll tell you more about that in the next episode. But if you're concerned about your search results, reach out to your FMO. If you're part of the Tucker Financial Group family, reach out to your marketing developer, because you might be independent, but at Tucker Financial Group, you're never alone.